You go deer hunting where there are deer. You know your deer habits and your habitat. And you go out and you look for sign. You don't always see the animals themselves, but you look for sign, for tracks, and for scat, and for runs, and for what we call rubs, where the bucks rub their velvet off on their antlers. Different kind of trees they use. They like to rub cedars, but they pick a tree out, and when it's time to get that velvet off in the fall, the antler growth has stopped, and they rub and scrape to get the velvet off, polish up their antlers. Because it probably becomes an irritant at that time, and they're coming into the rut season, in which their antlers are, basically evolved for fighting. The velvet is a vascular system that feeds the antler growing, and the antler is alive when it's growing. Then once that stops, then the antler is dead tissue. But the velvet is soft. The velvet is blood. It's a blood supply. While it's growing, it's sensitive, and it can be injured. Sometimes they can injure them or get them caught in a fence or something, and then get deformed. But once all growth is stopped, there's a constriction ring at the base of the antler. Then that velvet is all dried up on there. It's sort of like a dog shedding or anything else. It becomes an irritant, and they rub it and try to get rid of the thing. It's an amazing thing when you see them. And you see a buck in full velvet. See a fine fuzz all over the antler. It's amazing. Like velvet. Then it dries up and sheds, and sometimes you'll see them with particles of it hanging down and shreds and everything until they clean themselves all up. All through the summer. They grow through the summer, and you see them right through July and August. A lot of them have already rubbed off. I had 2 big bucks out here the other day, and their antlers were all cleaned up already. But they start cleaning them up usually in early September. But they'll still, when the bucks are in rut, androgen levels are high, they're nasty, they're irritable. They'll mock fight with trees and rub also. So they rub trees to get the velvet off, but they also fight with them. And sometimes if you can sneak up on one and he's beating the hell out of a tree with his rack, it's amazing to see. They tear them up, take all the bark off them, and you see these trees that are just totally, and they kill them. They take the bark off. Those are rubs. It's called a rub. But that's how people, when you go deer hunting, you read the sign. You go in and you read the sign, and you know. Yeah, I mean, you can recognize good habitat. Deer all over now. I mean, good Lord, there's a lot of deer in the vineyard.